So my guest today is Emerson student and host of Common Mad Men on WECB, Simon Ludke. Simon, welcome to the show.
Thank you. I'm so glad to be here.
So I hear you've been 4 different majors, but not simultaneously.
Not simultaneously. Yeah, I've been jumping around quite a bit.
Tell me what majors you've done.
I started at theater and performance, and I did that for a year. And then I hopped over to comedic arts and did that for a year. Now I'm a junior and I'm in journalism. And I just found out like 3 weeks ago that in the process of going from theater and performance to comedic arts, I was theater ed for like a hot second.
You didn't even know you were
I didn't even know. I literally looked at my degree audit to figure that out.
You only have a few more majors until you've covered every single major
No,
in
you're right.
school.
And I intend to.
How are you in the kitchen?
Me? I'm okay. I'm very, very basic. Mostly rice and quinoa for me.
What are your thoughts on pasta? Do you make pasta a lot?
I make pasta, always from the box.
And so today we're just going to go through 2 pasta dishes that you can make with boxed pasta, but the flavor's going to be like maximized. So we're doing aglio olio and penne with sun-dried tomato pesto. Have you ever done either of those?
No, neither. Aglio olio sounds like a yodeling exercise, so
I know,
really
right?
have no clue.
It actually stands for spaghetti with garlic and oil, so it seems really simple, and there's very few ingredients, but the flavor will blow your mind, I promise.
Okay.
What we're gonna do first, we're gonna prep our ingredients. Basically, like I said, there's very few ingredients. Garlic, fresh parsley. Don't get the dried stuff, get the fresh stuff. It's just so much better. Nice little lemon.
Perfect.
To get that sort of like acidity at the end of our dish. Of course, we need oil because it's spaghetti with garlic and oil. And then we're also gonna do red pepper flake. Do you use this stuff a lot?
On pizza?
Yeah,
That's
it's
really
good
it,
on
though.
pizza. It's actually like a fantastic ingredient to put in your pasta. So basically what we want to start with though is cutting up our garlic. The best way to peel your garlic for this thing is normally you would crush it, but we don't want to break it up too much because when we cook the garlic, we don't want it to burn. Garlic's super delicate, so you have to be careful with it. So when we do put it in the pan, we're going to start it on a really low heat and just let it come up to temperature.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Great.
So the best way I find to do this, cut off the top, cut off the end, and then push that aside, and then we just want to peel that garlic. When you cut off the top and the end, it makes it so much easier to peel.
Perfect.
So we have this little flat surface here, and what we want to do now is we just want to get really thin slices of this garlic. So I'm going pretty thin here. So tell me about growing up. Were you in the kitchen a lot? Were your parents big cooks?
No, I had a ever-changing cycle of nannies growing up because my parents were always working, so me and my brother learned a little bit to cook from our nannies, but pretty basic stuff.
Like what?
You know, toast and some mean scrambled eggs for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Ooh, this is a pretty good amount of garlic.
Cool.
And then basically I'm going to pan down here. And we can get this going in the pan. The key here is to start this in a cold pan with olive oil. And I'm getting this to like a really low temperature because I just want to very like slowly raise up the temperature here. Grab a little bit of oil, you want to put some of that in the pan?
Sure.
Just want to cover the bottom of the pan. And we'll just add our garlic, and then this is very slowly going to come up to temperature. We can even add a little bit more.
Sounds good.
Nice.
Wow.
So that's going to slowly come up to temperature, and we're going to drop our spaghetti in. So I've already salted my water and set a rapid boil, and now we're going to throw in our pasta. A few key things here. Make sure you have a big enough pot and enough water, and heavily salt that pasta water because that's the chance you get to season your pasta. Also, don't add olive oil to your pasta water. It's just a waste of your good olive oil. If you want to prevent your pasta from sticking to itself, just stir it around every once in a while with your tongs. So this is really nicely slowly roasting.
Cool. We're looking for some like browning on the edges a little
Yeah,
bit?
just a little bit of browning on the edges.
Nice.
We just want these to do like a golden type of color to them. And what's great about this pasta, it takes like 10 minutes to cook, and that's about the time that this will take to sort of get up to the temperature we want it.
Awesome.
While your garlic's roasting, add in your red pepper flake. Then go ahead and chop up your parsley. Once your garlic's all golden, take a mug of your pasta water and add some of it into the pan with the garlic. That water's super starchy, so when you add your pasta to the pan and start mixing it around, it will create an emulsification, making a creamy sauce rather than something that's oily or watery.
I remember for Thanksgiving one year, my family was making a dish kind of similar to this.
Oh, really?
And my older brother came home. I hadn't seen him for give or take 6 months.
Oh, geez.
Really excited to see him. And I remember walking into the kitchen and he was helping with the pasta, and I smelled this like horrible smoke smell.
Oh, boy.
And I ran into my room and started crying because I thought my older brother had picked up smoking. And I was like traumatized that he started like smoking cigarettes and whatnot. I was just like completely freaked out about it as a little kid. And then my mom came in and just told me he burned the pasta. So I was completely wrong about it.
So, don't burn your pasta. Anyway, now you're all set to add in your parsley and your lemon and serve it up. I'm gonna grab the pot I was cooking in. We're gonna add our sun-dried tomato pesto, which again is just pine nuts, basil, Parmesan, sun-dried tomatoes. Just your basic ingredients for a pesto.
Got it.
With the sun-dried tomatoes in there. And again, what I've done is reserved a little mug of the pasta water from the ziti we were cooking in, and that's gonna allow this to loosen up a little. You can see it's a little thick right now.
Just a tad.
Which is totally fine. We can loosen it up with the pasta water we have. If you want the recipe for the pesto, head on over to the Feedback website. You can buy that kind of pesto in store, but hey, homemade's the way to go. We're gonna add our penne. And we're just gonna mix this around.
And it already smells amazing.
How's that looking?
Looks awesome.
So what I like to do with this type of penne is add a little bit of goat cheese. And then
Definitely thought you said ghost cheese to begin with. I got very, very scared.
How's that for you?
It's awesome.
Great. You want
How did I
lemon?
not know about this before? Yeah, I want some lemon.
Sweet. Mix that in.
Mm-hmm.
There it goes. And there we go. That is your penne with sun-dried tomato pesto. What do you say we go to the couch, we eat these, and we do a little interview?
I'm all
You
for it.
down?
Yeah.
Awesome, let's do it. All right, Simon, so we got spaghetti, aglio olio, and penne with sun-dried tomato pesto. What do you say we give them a try?
I'm all for it.
Awesome. What do you think?
It's fabulous.
Want to do a little switch?
Please. See, this one's the winner for me. I could honestly eat this whole plate right now.
So would you make these on a weekday? Either of these?
I plan to.
You want to get into some questions?
Sure, hit me.
So I want to start first by talking about your time in Durban, because we were in Durban together for a while. What's your favorite part about Durban?
I really just liked how much writing we were able to accomplish.
No, yeah.
I love that all of our shows came together at the very last second. And it was fun, like, taking photos of everybody and doing the posters.
So you host a show called Common Mad Men on WECB.
I do.
Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, it changes every season. We're in season 6 now, and my co-host, who actually moved to Colorado and then is now back here, is back on the show. But this semester it's a little more simple. We're just calling it musical chess, where basically we talk about the philosophy of the given song. When we start with the last song of the previous broadcast.
Okay.
And if that were my song, then my co-host Samson would have to respond with a song with a contrasting philosophy. We basically just go, it's a philosophy talk show, but with kind of music as a medium.
So with that in mind, can you compare and contrast Dolly Parton's 9 to 5 with Travis Scott's Sicko Mode?
Sure. Okay, so Dolly Parton's 9 to 5 is obviously an incredibly empowering work of music. Sicko Mode is empowering in a kind of energizing type of way.
Yes, it's a very good pump-up song.
Actually, very amazing pump-up song. Ultimately, the key difference between them is that Travis Scott comes from a place of enormous wealth now, and he's representing that type of championship of his own narrative, whereas Dolly Parton is still pushing for the working class even today. And I think those are the core contrasting philosophies. Is Travis is about that glory, which is obviously everybody should strive for, but Dolly Parton is really about those that working class.
Since you host Common Mad Men, and I was on your show once for an episode, and we did a little thing called Quick Draw Trivia. Do you want to quickly explain like what that game is?
Yes, so Quick Draw Trivia for season 5 was the last game of every single episode. It was the only carryover game. And basically, at the end of the episode, we would introduce it with a very small portion of the song "The Sheriff" by Emerson, Lake and Palmer. We would scream Quick Draw Trivia as loud as we possibly could and do cowboy noises for give or take a minute. And then we would, I would have to ask each of my two kind of competing guests 15 questions over the course of a minute. They got as many as they got. Each question was worth 1 point, and whoever was the champion at the end of the night took home the crown.
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
So what I would like to do now is sort of pay tribute to that game and also sort of test your knowledge of cowboy noises.
Oh boy.
If you wouldn't mind, pick a cowboy hat and we'll do our own little minute-long Quick Draw Trivia intro.
Okay, let's do it.
All right, great. You ready?
I'm so ready.
Let's count down. 3, 2, 1.
one.
Yeah!
Hey, so we super peaked while trying to do our Quick Draw Trivia Yeehaw intro, so we're gonna give it another go.
Let's go. Ready?
Cool.
Yeehaw! Quick Draw Trivia! Oh, wait, Mama said, ride on a horse, come on tonight. Someone pours in alcohol.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Breathless, really.
Would you mind if we kept these on for the rest of the interview?
Please.
And what do you think like the most important quality for a journalist to have is?
That's the biggest thing I'm working on, is that you have to not be afraid to meet people. And I'm definitely, like, because there's such a huge professional standard, especially at Emerson, I'm definitely very scared to go walk up to somebody who's like a member of local government or runs their own business, and they're immediately skeptical of what you're going to write about them. You have to, not be afraid to just introduce yourself, say hi, and like try to be as non-biased as humanly possible.
So you were a comedic arts major, now you're a journalism major. You were theater and then theater ed.
Theater
theater
ed.
ed like by accident,
Totally by accident, momentarily. It was just because I had to take a transition class that also counted for credits in the comedic arts major.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you summarize each of those majors in one word?
Sure. Theater performance, dramatic. Theater ed, IDK. Comedic arts, talented. So talented. And then journalism, politics.
And what's your dream guest on Common Mad Men?
Wow. This season, Earl Sweatshirt's dad just died. He was like a poet laureate, but his work is absolutely amazing. So if I would be able to have him on, that would be really, really cool. But yeah, because we talk a lot about poetry on the show this semester. But in terms of like living people, maybe just Earl.
That would be sweet.
That'd be
If
really
you had
fun.
him on, that would be insane.
I'd be all for it.
And then lastly, I just want to do one more game with you.
Okay.
So there's that game, Fuck, Marry, Kill. Let's do a little twist on that. Let's do Cook with, Marry, Kill.
Cook with Mary Kill. Okay.
Bob Ross, Bill Nye, and Mr. Rogers.
Oh, they're all so nice. I would marry Mr. Rogers so I could support him emotionally and,
And he would just
financially.
be nice to you every single day.
Yes, he would be so nice. It would be so rewarding, and I just want to see him achieve everything he wants to achieve.
Yeah.
I would kill Bill Nye.
Okay, I agree with that, honestly.
Just
You
because-
can't kill Bob Ross.
I can't kill Bob Ross. I would cook with Bob Ross because he would turn it into an art form.
You're right.
I have to justify killing Bill Nye though, because like now it's not that he doesn't have an enormously important voice,
Right.
but now that people are really starting to agree with him on a large scale, we don't need him so much anymore.
So you think his time has passed a little bit?
I mean, he can still make a huge
Well, he'll
difference.
always
but
be a legend.
yeah, absolutely.
All three of these will always be legends.
Yes.
And so will you. Simon, thank you so much for joining me.
Happy to be here.
It
It's
was
been a
so
blast.
fun. Good luck with Common Mad Men.
Thank
if you
you.
want to plug anything, go ahead. Plug anything to any camera.
Yes, I'm also the music director for WECB, so
Awesome.
check out the WECB music blog. There's so much good music journalism on there.
Great. Well, Simon, thank you so much for joining me. It was
Absolutely.
a pleasure to have you.
It's been a good time.
I hope you'll go home and you cook these.
Probably right now.
Awesome. Thanks.